Yo, let's just get straight into it. So, I wanted to talk about something really interesting today that a lot of people are just not going to really be honest about themselves with, and that's completely okay because once upon a time, I was not honest about it with myself either. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. The topic is about friendships, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If we really look at our actual lives and see who really are our friends, they might be fewer than what you might think. And you might have had this realization back when COVID happened. You might have had that realization when you realized not too many people picked up your calls when things were hard, times were difficult, and you really needed them. But the reason why it's so important to talk about this topic and raise awareness of it, rather than being delusional, rather than lying to yourself for years upon years about who really has your back, is because this will help you save a tremendous amount of time in regards to who you're going to invest your time with, where you want that friendship to go, so on and so on. Because trust me, guys, if you are 30, if you reach the age of 30, if you reach the age of 40, and you still have 5 friends who you could truly trust with your life, I think you made it compared to a lot of people. So without further ado, let's just get straight right into it. So for many of our friendships, especially when we're younger, the reason why I'll have those friends is because for the most part, it's fun. You guys can laugh with each other. You guys can smile with each other. It's chill. It's relatively low stakes. You guys enjoy each other's company. That's what makes it fun and that's what makes it exciting. And this is largely a recurrent theme throughout elementary, middle school, so on and so on. I mean, when you get into high school and all that, it becomes a little bit more complicated. It becomes a bit more about your social factor, who likes you, who does it, how much clout you have. But regardless, the main gist of it stays the same. It's really based on if you're easy to get along with, how much fun you are, so on and so on. And this kind of persists throughout college. However, as you slowly get older, you'll slowly have a better idea of who's real, who's fake, and kind of who you'll invest your time with. But as I realized through my own unique experiences, and people who are younger than me, people who are older than me might be going through the same thing, we need to also take a step back and realize that if you have that gut feeling, if you have that stomach feeling that one day your friends might not be there for you, that feeling might be more true than you would like to admit it to yourself. The reason why I know is because I myself was in those shoes 3 years ago, right before COVID happened. And the reason why I find this topic so important to talk about is because if I had been honest with myself, because deep down I knew that if something difficult were to happen, maybe they wouldn't be there. But I didn't have the strength or the wisdom to truly be honest with myself and value that honesty over my comfortability at the time. And that's why I paid a hefty price for it later on. And the reason why this topic is so important is because a lot of people, when you really get down to the core with them and really have a brutal and honest conversation with them beyond the shenanigans, a lot of people will admit to you that they don't feel like they have a lot of real friends, that a lot of people will feel that their friends are not as there for them as much as they would like. And the reason why is not necessarily due to their faults. I mean, especially on a Friday night, on a Saturday night when you all are just having fun and you just want to have a good time, one of the last questions you're going to ask yourself is, wait, is this person truly compatible with where I want to go in the future? That's a little bit irrational. But the value of asking yourself that question is so immense because you will save yourself a lot of pain and strife, especially if you can be honest with yourself, even when you're in those moments where it's easy, it's outgoing, and you have no particular reason to be afraid. And the reason why, guys, is because a lot of people's values do not match up with each other. And that is why once the easy times are done, once the hard times come in, a lot of people will no longer be friends with each other because yes, you guys had the vibe, you guys had fun with each other, but that was only warranted under specific circumstances. Once things got hard, once some inconveniences came in the way, were they still there for you? Did you guys still talk to each other? Did you guys still share the same output with yourselves in regard to how you wanted your future to look like? If the answer was no, then of course it was bound to happen inevitably. But the thing is, unless you went through it, you're just not going to realize the profundity of it. And I don't blame you. And that is why we need to have discussion about it. Because when you're having fun, when you're having a good time, it is truly easy to believe just because they laugh and smile with me, that must mean they're my friends. But once the inevitable hard times come, you'll have that bitter realization that maybe, just maybe, they didn't have my back just the way I wanted it to. And if you truly want to avoid this, one of the biggest tips I will give you is that even when things are easy, even when you're having a good time with this person, truly take 5, 10 minutes, heck, even an hour if you need it, and truly assess what actually brings you guys to the table together. Because everyone hangs out with each other due to a perceived benefit they have from that relationship, that friendship. If there is no benefit, if there is no perceived benefit, why would you want to hang out with that person? You would deem that as a waste of time. So that is why it's so important to understand that and truly sit down and actually see what brings you guys together. And I promise you, if you take this crucial time, if you do this one hard thing at the moment, what comes forward will be easy. But if you choose to do the easy thing, if you choose to ignore your gut feeling, if you choose to keep not asking yourself this question because you're so afraid of being alone, it's only inevitable before the hardship comes to you, this time without your say so. So with that being said, do more, think less.